We're going to start off the day with an idea. An idea that is going to change the learning experience for high school students all over the country and hopefully every classroom. Some of you may be thinking, does this idea mean fewer homeworks? No. Will this idea result in fewer exams? Sadly not. Okay, well, will this idea mean a later start time so I could sleep in? And if those were the three ideas you were thinking I may move forward with, then I'm not off to a good start. But if you were thinking, is the idea he's going to share today going to make school more relevant and meaningful and connected to the world we live in, then the answer is yes. Students all over the country are looking for their classroom experience to be more meaningful, more connected to the world we live in. But not just students here, and not just students of one demographic, students who are our highest academic performers and our most reluctant learners. Those students who often cite a disconnection between what happens in the real world and the classroom is one of the main reasons on why they often drop out of school. We could change that. Teachers also surprisingly want that. Teachers want to be able to combine what's required of them to teach their students how to write well, how to conceptually think, and how to prepare for their examinations, while also bringing in the exciting learning opportunities that students are happening outside of school back to the classroom. But how do we do it? I also wondered how I could do while I was teaching, how I could combine what was expected and required of me and what my students and I wanted to do to enhance our classroom experience. And this idea started in one classroom in Southeast Washington, D.C. in 2006. It started with a writing assignment where we asked students to write about any cultural or global issue that they thought was important. So for the first time in all the assignments I had ever issued to my students, it was the first one where I wasn't telling students what to write about. I was asking students to tell me what they know about the things they think were important, instead of having students tell me about the things that I thought I was teaching them. And for the first time, I saw students using the rubrics and formatting guides to the lesson who never previously used them. And I saw students more engaged in this writing project because they were writing about themselves. And there was that big news flash, fascinating. Teenagers are interested in things about themselves. But yet we never conceptualized that as a teaching tool in classrooms. And then the flicker of this idea started to brighten. Because students not only were interested in the writing, but they were interested in reading each other's writing for the first time. They were interested in learning about the issues their peers felt were important, the countries their classmates traveled to, visited, or lived in, or the local issues that their classmates and friends had strong positions and perspectives on, and they wanted to share their own. So now we're moving forward with these ideas and seeing, wait, if the students are truly enjoying what they're writing, and they're enjoying each other's reading, and they're bringing the real world into the classroom, with this simple idea of letting go of ownership on what students write about, we were changing results in the classroom. And as students started to become more excited because they were teaching us about what they know, what they want to learn about, all these opportunities that young folks, including those in the audience today who are spending their weekends, their summers, their vacations, not sitting on couches playing video games, although many are, but more young teenagers today are learning about important global issues than any youth generation before. So these ideas started to form and grow. Let's create a platform where students can improve their writing and write about the world around them. Write about the issues that were important to them. Let's create an online platform where young folks could read about these important issues from other students. And if other students were truly interested in reading their peers' writing, then let's take the best samples of the student writing and have teachers build curriculum and lesson plans directly around the student-authored primary source. So they could teach with student writing, so they could share youth perspectives, they could drive engaging classroom discussions, and they could truly show their students that their ideas and perspectives are valued and celebrated. And these ideas grew from one classroom to one project to one program to the organization One World Education. And where it started in one classroom in 2006, in 2012 we're working in hundreds of classrooms across the country and working in most of them right here in the capital region. Taking student writing, teaching students how to write well, and providing a place for them to share and publish their writing and offering teachers free access to Common Core Line lesson plans built around that student writing, so they could address the skills they need to as educators in preparing their students for success on their exams and turning them into critical thinkers, but also engaging the classroom experience with topics that start with youth and return to youth. And over those past few years, thousands of students have shared their writing with the organization. And some of those speakers are here today. Students have shared writing on topics as diverse as young folks exploring their African heritage, cyberbullying, human rights in Haiti, being a teen immigrant, or childhood obesity, to name just a few of the reflection topics that students have published on our website. You see, you take important topics like that, and for somehow, if you're an educator and you tell students that we're going to learn about these important global issues by turning to page 580 in your textbook, or by reading literature written by a PhD professor at a university far away from where your students live, somehow that's just not cutting it. Somehow those sources just aren't exciting our students. We need to think differently. One World Education allows a platform for teachers and students to think about the learning experience differently, truly bringing what's happening outside of school back into a classroom, where we're meeting the writing requirements that are expected of us, and we're engaging classrooms with exciting reading materials, showing students truly that your writing shouldn't serve as a grade, but your writing should serve as a reading source for other students. Because I'll tell you what, and you know this well, that high school students will feel quite comfortable, although maybe a little bit embarrassed, to share poorly written writing with their teachers. They won't do it if they know it's going to be read by their peers and classmates. And I see more nodding heads. I'm sure there's tons of psychological theories on why that is, and you could choose any one of them. But I'm excited because some of these youth speakers are here today to talk about the topics that they've published on One World Education. But I'm also excited for high school students around the country and for those here in attendance, because you have an opportunity to use writing differently, to bring the experiences you're having outside of the classroom back into school, where they could truly serve as a valuable learning experience for other students. Because with programs like One World Education, the experiences you write about today will serve as the reading lessons for students tomorrow.